So before we get really kicked off today, I want to do two things. Number one, just tell you guys that I moved. I'm probably going to be putting some of my FPV flights on my other channel, which is Barbarian FPV. I'll put a link to my other channel down below if you haven't subscribed already. I know it has like 57 subscribers already, so some of you are already subscribed to it. It's one of my older channels, but I decided to kick it over to put a lot of my drone flights on there and upcoming drone adventure stuff on over there. So if you want to subscribe to Barbarian FPV, that's where a lot of that stuff is going to be at. That way I can keep a lot of this motorcycle and, you know, that kind of content related. But that being said, I want to give a shout out to my boy Sean, Edge FPV. If you guys don't know Edge FPV, his link will also be in the description below. If you haven't subscribed to Edge, solid dude, man, really cool. And I've actually known him a long time. But that being said, he decided to work on a cool project with me that I'm going to share you guys an update. And I actually dropped this video on Barbarian FPV as well because Sean's doing killer things, and it gave me a chance to drop a new edit on the other channel and just kind of have some fun. So I'll be releasing the same edit on this one over there, but we're going to be tying this one into my Ninja 500 project. So the beginning of this is going to be the Edge project he's been working on with me, and this is super cool that he decided to take the time to do this. So shout outs to Sean, Edge FPV. If you guys haven't checked him out, you should subscribe to him. Cool dude, man, solid guy. He's been working on this personal project with me for 3 weeks now, 2 weeks, and it's coming along great. I can't wait to show you guys the final product when it's all done, custom painted, all the cool stuff is done. So let's get kicked off today. Enjoy.
Ships on vigor of the waves are skimming, barren summits to the verdant plains. Each horizon is a new beginning, rise and terrain. Far from the fjords and the ice-cold currents, raving soar over new frontiers. Songs and sagas of a fate determined, shields and spears. Vows of favor or the thrill of plunder, pulled together for the clan and kin. Clank of hammers and the crash of thunder, pound with him. Oh, 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 the echoes of eternity. Oh, oh, the hella calling me. Oh, oh, to pluck the strings of destiny. Oh, oh, the hella calling me, the hella calling me. Sails are swaying on the crimson rivers, blood and glory in the fighting fields. Shields are shattered into splintered timbers, iron and steel. Fires are rising and the bells are ringing. Glory, take us into Odin's halls. Golden glimmer and the sound of singing as Asgard's call. Oh, oh, the echoes of eternity. Oh, oh, the hella calling me. Oh, oh, to pluck the strings of destiny. Oh, oh, the hella calling me, the hella calling me.
God damn!
Welcome back to the Ninja 500 project. As you can see, I've cleaned the whole bike up. It looks very nice and fresh now. I did put a new clutch cable on it, so it's got a brand new clutch cable. That goes all the way down to there, if you guys can see. Put a whole new clutch on it, clutch cable. The old ignition is currently disconnected for the most part. I believe I should just be able to pull this out or figure out where this goes. Through here. Yeah, this is going to be rough to get out of there. Okay. I also want to check this ground. So I'm wondering if this ground is problematic to what's happening with these coils down here, because that leads into these coils, and I'm wondering if there's a problem here. Anyways, we'll talk about that. So new clutch is on there. This whole system's disconnected. As you can see, I have a whole new ignition on there, and it does have the bypass wire connected. So if I turn that on, there you go. Things power up how they should. But here's the problem. So I got the coil out here. You'll notice we don't have spark. Watch. No spark. Nada. So that is problematic. Big time. So here's the issue. This could be a whole barrage of things. I did order new coils. We're going to put those on. I'll do this test again after the new coils. If that does not solve the problem, here's the deal. CDI box is right here. Could be a bad CDI box. Could be a bad ECU PCM. Could be a bad computer. Right? Could, like I said, could be a bad junction box. In reality, I highly doubt it's this, because if I have power going in, then I have power going out. Normally, that's how this works. But the CDI, totally different story. CDI could be burned. I don't know. There could also be a wiring problem up here that I am unaware of now. So it could be a ground contact. Could be a lot of different things causing this problem. This bike has a ton of grounds on it. So I'm going to have to go through this whole system and with a multimeter and basically do continuity checking through the entire electrical, which is why a lot of people avoid bikes that have electrical issues, because pretty soon I'm going to be out here with my multimeter going through the entire system until we find what the problem is and the culprit. So it could be a bad CDI, could be a bad ground, could be a bad wiring harness, could be a bad ECU, computer, could be a bad stator. There are a multitude, could be bad coils. There's a multitude of different things that it could be. So we're going to start with the cheapest and work our way to the top. But unfortunately, this is where I have to stop my project at until the coils come in so I can do the next bout of testing and make sure it's not just both coils to burn, because this one's fucked up and doesn't work. I mean, that shit's shot. But it would still seem to me that they should get power. And I'm not getting power to this one. So what I might do, switch that head unit around and swap it to this side and see if this side is producing power, or put my multimeter on it and see if it's at least receiving power. So, I mean, I've got a lot of work cut out for me. Unfortunately, for this stage of it, I will not be filming the entire finding what the electrical problem is, because that would take hours of recording and it's not worth it to me. I will just have to find the problem and tell you what it is and tell you all the things that I did and the steps leading up to how we get to where we are, to where this bike is running. So I currently have, this is kind of hard to do with one hand, but as you can see, the meter's jumping all over the place. This is really hard to do with one hand. Let's see if I can get this honed in for you. Oh my goodness. Come on. Should be at, there we go, like 14, almost 14 volts. I have a 14.8 volt battery connected to this right now. So we know that the CDI box is receiving an input signal. The problem is it's getting the proper voltage and it's getting an input signal, but then it's not transferring from here out. So looks like we may have a dud CDI on our hands. So the fact that it's getting power lets me know that it should be sending an output signal out. All right, so spent all night up. Just want to try to show you guys this the best I can. I don't even know if I can tilt my phone down more or what I'm gonna require to do that. Let's try this here. We'll set this down, see if I can tilt this down just a tad bit more. Okay, so we're gonna do a continuity check on this with the multimeter, and I'm gonna try to set this up so you guys can see what's going on here. Best of my ability anyways. I don't even know if this thing sits upright. Oh, I guess it does. Too much? Wires are holding it back. Let's try it like that. Maybe you guys can see now. So we're gonna do a continuity check. And what should happen is Yep, that's not going to stay. All right, well, just listen. Let's do it that way. Just listen. So when I touch all these contacts, right, these operate the coils, and this is basically the computer, ECU, junction box, whatever. But none of these should cause continuity, okay, across the coils. There should not be one pin here that causes continuity across the coils. So if I touch any of these, we should get a readout, which you guys won't be able to see. This one says 674, 674. Top one up here says 556. But I noticed when I was going through my pins that if I touch here and here, we have continuity. Hear that? So this would lead me to believe that this CDI is no good. That is a simple way to do a continuity check. You basically just need to find your ground, whatever your ground is, on your pins, and then go through your coils and see if any of them come back to continuity. And unfortunately, we do have one coming back to continuity, which means Dan's going to be purchasing a $100 CDI box before we can have spark, and hopefully that solves the problem and it doesn't go further than that. But now you understand how to do a continuity check of a CDI. So if you look up online and you go to your manual and you say, okay, I need a wiring diagram, you need to figure out which one of these pins is a ground out. Okay, once you find your ground out, then all you have to do is go over to your coil side and check the resistance against them with the ohm meter, and if there's continuity, it'll beep. If it beeps, you need a new CDI. Pretty much that simple.
Are you sure this is okay? You're in country, dude. Live a little. Now, she's pretty sensitive, so go easy on the throttle, okay? All right.